Oma Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurin Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. The scorpion came out of the rice. So that's the proof. The scorpion comes from rice. The source of the scorpion is rice. Because they don't see the eggs which are laid by the mother, then they say, you see, there's no proof. No one saw any eggs of any scorpion. There's no proof. Just you see, it's obvious. It comes, the rice is there, the scorpion comes out. It means the scorpion is coming from the rice. Why do you say there's any other cause but this? So those who have no eyes to see, or those who don't know the subtleties or what's actually happening, they will make this mistake. So in the same way, materialistic people, they make the mistake of seeing what you see. We can see everything that's going on. The semina of the man mixes with the ovum of the woman, and then there's gestation for 9 months or 10 months, if you take the lunar calendar. In Bhagavatam it says 10 months. So it means according to the lunar calendar, 10 months. Then the child is born. Kimanyat kama haitukam. In Gita Krishna says this, the materialistic people. They think, asatyam apratishtam te jagadahuranishvaram aparaspara sambhutam kimanyat kama haitukam. They say that there's no God in control. There's no supreme control. There's no ultimate source of everything. Simply, there's lust. Man unites with a woman. The child is born. That's all. There's nothing beyond this. So this is called Tandola Vrischikanyaya. We don't see that beyond the interaction. So you don't see that beyond the rice. There's also the scorpion laid the eggs. Scorpions are coming from the eggs. So similarly, you may not see how the spiritual nature is there. Simply you see, there's nothing beyond this, you see. Man unites with a woman and child is born. It's all matter. The body of the man is matter. The woman is matter. The child produced, it's also material. We don't see that beyond it, their spirit is the cause. But the spirit, without spirit, there cannot be any living being because matter itself is dead. Prabhupada used to ask, then why is it that sometimes you see a child is born dead? And why is that not going? It's the same chemical composition and same biological formation as a live child. Why is it not going? Why do you say dead? Because the spirit soul has left the body. So that in Gita, also Lord Krishna, he gives this. Udkramantam stitam vapi bunjanam lagunamritam vimudhananu pashyanti jnana chakshusha. You have to see the eyes of knowledge. That the foolish, vimura means a very big fool. Mura already means fool. And vimura means a very big fool. Visheshrupena mura. Very big rascal or fool. He doesn't see how we are changing from one body to another. They don't see. Vimura na anupashyanti. Na anupashyanti. They see. Pashyanti means they see, but na anupashyanti. Anupashyanti. This anu means following. So to see properly, you have to follow. Then you get the jnana chakshusha. You get the eyes of knowledge by which you can see. Or the eye of knowledge you can see. And anupashyanti means you have to take knowledge. Knowledge is not something that's simply, no one wakes up as a doctor or a nuclear physicist no, even Shakespeare had to learn and read and write before he could write his plays. Even Einstein had to go to school. Einstein, he made so many theories based on mathematics. He also had to learn 2 times 2 equals 4. X squared times y squared equals xy squared. He also had to learn. He may be a genius, but it wasn't that Einstein. He popped out of his mother's womb and instead of crying he said, E equals mc squared. Not like that. Not like that. He also had to study and learn and take some knowledge, and then he could develop his theory. So everyone has to learn, then you can understand. This is a great mistake in modern life. They have the idea of spiritual life. If you want to become a doctor, you have to study so many years. How many years? 5.5 years. And before that you have, 12 years in the school. So 5.5 to 17.5 years you have to put in hard work. And then if you have the brain, and not everyone. So much work you have to put in. But then when it comes to spiritual knowledge, people just say, well, I think this and I think that. Is it a good idea? That everyone will just say, I think. Someone has a pain in his chest. Someone will say, I think. You better see a doctor. You may be having a heart attack. Maybe just some air caused by indigestion or something. It could be a heart attack also. See a doctor. You don't know the system to understand. He does. He's studied. So in spiritual life, you may, well, I think this, I think that. No. You have to take knowledge from the proper source. Tatmadarshi, Jnana Chakshusha means he sees with the eye of knowledge. So how do you get that knowledge? Tadvidhi pranipatena, Hari Krishna is saying, Upadekshyanti te jnanam, jnananas tatmadarshanaha. There's a system to get knowledge. The system is, the first thing you have to become humble. That's in any system of knowledge. It's not, nowadays they have this idea of free thinking. Everyone should have their own opinion, be very liberal. But if you come into the classroom and the teacher's teaching something and you say, no, I don't agree, it's free thinking. I don't agree with you. They'll throw you out of the school. Isn't it? In your college, you're all studying, many of you. But if you disagree with the teacher, the professor, and argue with him and say, no, you're not teaching properly, what will they do? They'll throw you out. They say, okay, you disagree, but not in this school. You can sit under the tree at the, Vikasa statue. You can sit there. You sit there and disagree. But you don't disagree in the class. In the class, you have to follow. Then you can get knowledge. Similarly, you're writing your examination. What is the capital of India? You say, well, in my opinion, Vallabh Vidyanagar is the capital of India. It's my opinion. My opinion. It's my free will. Okay? It's also my opinion to give you fail. You also fail the exam. You don't get the knowledge because people have this strange idea that in spiritual life you can think whatever you like. But spiritual knowledge means to understand certain facts. So people think that in spiritual life it's just all an opinion, but there are certain facts which are to be understood. Just like there is a certain fact that New Delhi is the capital of India, or Gandhinagar is the capital of Gujarat. So there's a certain fact. So similarly there's a certain fact that the soul is within the body. The soul is subordinate to the Supreme Soul, who is Krishna, not Shiva, not Shakti. Krishna is Shaktiman, Sarva Shaktiman, that is Krishna. So these are certain facts which you have to learn. You have to start off by being humble, then you can begin to learn. You have to do service. That is the system for gaining knowledge. And you have to ask appropriate questions. Means there has to be a certain interest there also. Many people will approach a guru, some blessing. My child has a toothache. Something like this. bless me that I can have a good job, nice home, nice dog, all these things. Have enough money, I can go to the beauty parlor every week. Spend 3 hours sitting in the beauty parlor, becoming beautiful. So, such a person, they won't give pariprashna. Who's not interested in spiritual knowledge, they won't ask, they won't discuss, they won't be interested. Pariprashna gives the prashna, the word is prashna, then why pariprashna? The idea is given that asking to try and, pari, this word means, gives the idea of all around. Just like we say parikrama. Krama means step. So parikrama means to go around. So pariprashna means to ask from all different angles of vision, to try to understand the subject fully. That is the idea given. So it's not that simply, just like there's, you were telling me, there's this one sampradaya, what's that called? Vallabh or something? Harivanshji. There's some sampradaya in Braj area, in Delhi, in which they say, no, don't read any books. Just chant Radha Nam, that's all. No, you chant Radha Nam is everything. Don't read any books. Maybe you've read in Prabhupada's books that there are some sahajiyas who say not to read books. These are the people like this. Don't read any books. Just chant Radha Nam. But then Krishna himself is giving the book, Bhagavad Gita. If you say Radha Nam, Radha, who is Radha? Radha means because she's with Krishna. Ultimately, now of course that may be some big controversy, but ultimately Krishna is the Param Satya. Now Gauriya Vaishnava, if we go very deep into Gauriya Vaishnava ontology, we will say that actually we worship Radha even more than Krishna. But why? Because she's attached to Krishna. Krishna is the center. So they're saying you just chant Radhana. But then who is Radharani? Why you should chant that name? If there's no knowledge, even to get that knowledge, someone has to tell you. So knowledge is required. But the system to get the knowledge is you should pariprashna. You should discuss. Prabhupada used to say from different angles of vision. You try to understand. What is this philosophy? Pariprashna and seva. You have to do seva also. Then, those who are tattvadarshi, they can give the knowledge. It's similar to receiving academic knowledge. If you want to become an engineer or whatever, you have to be humble. You have to be inquisitive. Some desire has to be there to learn. Seva, now you won't find in the modern colleges or schools any such idea. But that's also, actually from the mundane point of view, there has to be a good relationship between the teacher and the pupils. Otherwise, the exchange of knowledge won't be very nice. The teacher will like to teach if the pupils are very submissive. So that was the system. I saw even, that must have been less than 20 years ago, in Dhaka University, the students touching the professor's feet. I don't think they do nowadays. But that was common until recently. Maybe in the villages in India, maybe still even now. In Punjab. In Punjab, Punjabis, they have this culture. Not much other culture, but this much they have. That the young people, even they may be 25 years or whatever, they'll touch the feet of the elders. So that much culture, that something is still there, even in Punjab. So that idea, submission, and then the teacher will be happy to teach. But actually spiritual knowledge, it's, as I've said many times, it's not like academic knowledge. It works there's a subtle principle also, which means that by the mercy of Guru and Krishna, the knowledge is revealed within the heart. Depends on one's sincerity also. Because Krishna doesn't reveal himself to those who don't have the mood of wanting to please him. Atashi Krishna namadi nam bhavet grahim indriye sevan mukhehi jivada swayameva spratyada. One who is not sevan mukh, who doesn't have the attitude of wanting to please Krishna, then Krishna doesn't reveal himself to them. And even you may be a big, big scholar, but if you don't have an attitude of service to Krishna, then you can't understand anything about Krishna. Just like we see in Chaitanya Charitamrita, it's described Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, big scholar, very big scholar of Vedanta. Even he was a householder, but sannyasis were coming to learn from him. He was such a great scholar. His brother-in-law was Gopinatha Acharya, who was a great devotee. So Gopinatha Acharya used to make jokes about him. So even though he's a big pandit, but he used to joke, you're such a fool, you don't understand what the actual truth is. They used to argue like this. Because brother-in-law, they have some relationship. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he came from Bengal, he first came to Puri, Purushottam Kshetra, Jagannath Mandir. So when he came, he fell down in the temple of Jagannath, unconscious, in ecstasy. Now I got the Lord of my life, he was thinking. So the guards there, they wanted to beat him. See, then and now, there's not much difference. If you go to Puri, the main thing they want to do is beat everybody. So, anyone went to Puri? You went there. Take your money and it's like, so anyway, we shouldn't insult them. Just speaking some facts. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu fell down and the guards, they wanted to beat him and throw him out. At that time Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya happened to come. He restrained them. He said, no, why are you being sannyasi? Why you want to beat him? So he took him to his own home, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Anyway, it's a long story. How he was lying there unconscious, and Sarvabhauma thought he was dead. Maybe he's dead, but then he put the cotton, his tula, like the cotton wool, the fresh cotton by his nose, and he saw this little movement. And then all the other devotees came, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went ahead of Nityananda, and who else was there? Jagadananda, Damodar Pandit. So he went ahead of them. He was upset because Nityananda broke his sannyas rod. So he went ahead. So the other devotees came afterwards, and then they chanted Hare Krishna, and eventually Chaitanya Mahaprabhu got up. So anyway, there were so many different pastimes, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took his lunch, prasadam, and so many things. But Gopinatha Acharya was saying to Sarvabhauma, he said, you're such a fool! Can you imagine, he's such a big pandit, and Gopinath is calling him a fool. You're such a fool. Why? Because you're such a big pandit, but the Supreme Personality of Godhead is present in your house and you can't even recognize him. He said, well, then there was some discussion. You'll find in Chaitanya Charitamrita. It's very important discussion on understanding how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Between Sarvabhauma's disciples, they came to the defense of Sarvabhauma. So they said that how are we to understand? And ultimately Gopinatha Acharya came to the conclusion, you can't understand. You won't understand. You know why? Because you didn't get the mercy. He said, when you get the mercy of God, then only you can understand Him. Atapite deva padambraja dvayam prasada leshanu grahita evahi janati tattvam bhagavan shmahimno nachanya ekopi chiram vichinva. This tattva, we're talking about those who are tattvadarshi. They can give you knowledge of the tattva, Krishna Tattva, Bhagavat Tattva, so that you won't get the knowledge unless you get a little mercy from Krishna. Janati Tattvam Bhagavan Shmahimno, the glory of Krishna. Unless you get His mercy, you won't understand it. Even if you study for many, many, many years, you won't understand Krishna unless you get His mercy. Then everything becomes clear. But the mercy you have to get from the devotees. That we're singing. Sansara davana lirha loka tranaya karanya ghana ghanatvam praktasya kaulyana gunana navasya vande guroshi charanana. It's a very nice example. That Krishna is called Gunarnava. What does that mean? Who can understand what that means? Gunarnava. It's not a common word. Guna, you can understand, means qualities. Arnava means ocean. So Krishna is an ocean of transcendental qualities. Those who are the impersonalistic followers of the Upanishads, they like to say the absolute truth is nirgun. That's true. Nirgun means the absolute truth is free from Saptagun, Rajagun and Tamagun, from the three modes of material nature. But he has his own transcendental qualities. Ananta Kalyana Guna Vishishta. He's naturally imbued with all transcendental auspicious qualities. So Krishna is an ocean of mercy. Now, just like a cloud, how do you get water on the land? Water is in the sea. How does it come to the land? The cloud is taking from the water and sprinkling it. Everyone in this material world, they are in the davana. Do you know what this word means? It means forest fire. So everyone in this material world, they are suffering in the forest fire, burning. Divanishi hiya jale. This Narottam Das Thakur has said. Hari Hari Bifale Janama Gawaino Manusha Janama Paya Radha Krishna na Bhajya Janiya Shunya Bishakaya. I didn't worship Radha and Krishna. I spoiled my human form of life. Knowingly I spoiled it. Drinking the poison. Sansara Bishanale. In that poisonous existence of human life. Divanishi hiyatale. I'm simply burning day and night. Chintama parimayam cha. In this Gita, Krishna also says, the demoniac people, they're, because of anxieties, they're suffering intensely, constantly. So how to put out the forest fire? If there is rainstorm. So the rain of mercy is coming from the devotees. Devotees, they're giving the drops of rain. It means the rain of mercy, which is taken from the great ocean of mercy, who is Krishna. So by devotees' mercy we can understand Krishna. And devotees' mercy means actually that's Krishna's mercy, because devotee, they take the drop of water from the ocean, but it is their mercy that they sprinkle it. But what are they giving? Ultimately that is, they're giving Krishna. Just like we say, you should be devoted to Guru. But Guru will teach you to be devoted to Krishna. If Guru says, you be devoted to me, that's correct. But why? You be devoted to me so that I will engage you in the service of Krishna. And not exclusive of service to Krishna. Not that you just worship me. Guru Kripa hi kevalam. Sometimes we hear people say, Guru Kripa hi kevalam. So only you worship Guru and forget God. Guru is God. All rubbish ideas. So, Guru is Guru because he teaches who is God. And he gives the mercy. That means, engages you in the service of Krishna. And then, when you become Sevanmukh, you become more and more inclined to serve Krishna, then more and more Krishna reveals. This is the process. But if you think, oh, now I became a very big scholar, and let me judge in my own way. You see? Then you become a big fool. You become again fool and rascal. You see, my guru, he taught this, but actually he doesn't know it very well. I know better. I have a better opinion. Shastra, Krishna has given Shastra very nicely, so that those who are not devotees, they cannot find Krishna. Everything they'll find contradiction. And by reading Shastra, they'll go to hell. But who is a devotee, everything he finds Krishna. That's why in Gita Krishna also says that Ashadadhana Purusha Dharmasyasya Parantapa Aprapya Mang Nivartante Mrityu Samsara Vatmani. Those who are not faithful, they don't attain me. What do they attain? Repeated birth and death. They don't attain me. So faith is required. By faith we can come to Krishna. We don't say blind faith. You study Shastra, you do service, you try to understand. But at the same time, faith means Shraddha, Shabde, Vishwas Kahin, Sudrida, Nischay, Jay. Krishna Karma Kaile, Krishna Bhakti Kaile, Sarva Kama Krita Hai. Faith means that there is a sublime objective. There is more to reality than simply eating, sleeping, passing stool and dying. There is more to life than this. Eating, sleeping, mating and defending. Passing stool, mating, similar. Means result of mating is out of the private parts comes some filthy object. And it's the same thing as passing stool in one sense. So there's more to life. There is a transcendental objective. That much faith you have to have. Then you have to cultivate that. That's why Anushilanam. This word is used. Cultivation. Anushilanam. Anu again means the word following. You have to follow in the footsteps of great devotees and cultivate Krishna consciousness. Then we can understand Krishna. But by challenge, skepticism, someone asked Prabhupada, well, what about the skeptics? Prabhupada said, skepticism means rascalism. Why you don't accept? Then you simply, who is a skeptic? Their whole vision of reality is mundane. They cannot see. Pashyanapi na pashyati. They see but they don't see. They're so much concerned. What is the economic condition of the country? We have to improve and this. So what economic condition? You increase the economic position and then you all go to hell. What's the value? You have to improve the spiritual condition. Not that you build more factories and then more people, they go to the factory and then they're so frustrated they all become drunkards and prostitute hunters. And what is the value of this? Improve the economic condition. Now you see India, so just like Bombay, richest city in India, and more than 50% of the population are living in Chopapat. In what condition? Then even they have some apartment building, there's no water. 20 families sharing one toilet. They're all lined up in the morning. What is this progress? And they say, we're improving. You see? Everyone has a TV. They're living in some stinking place where 24 hours a day they're right on top of the open sewer. But they're watching some sexy movie on the TV. This is progress. They're rascals. And they're so... You'll see India Today, this #1 rascal magazine in India. How to turn everyone into a Rakshasa. They're advertising, I saw some years ago, they had their article. That why people are protesting about making the automated slaughterhouse. You see, what foolishness. You see, we can earn foreign exchange by sending the beef to the Gulf, so that all the pious Hindus who go to the Gulf there can eat beef. Then we'll earn foreign exchange. And you see they're stupid people, they don't want to have an automated slaughterhouse. So you'll get foreign exchange. If you have your slaughterhouse, you'll definitely get it. What will be the exchange? Pakistan will send one bomb and blow you to pieces, and you will send one bomb and blow them to pieces. This foreign exchange you will have. Because you will get your karma that they don't understand, because they are fools and rascals. Vimura nanu pasyanti jnana chakshusha. So this Krishna conscious movement is meant for giving real knowledge. People are so much in ignorance that they don't know what pap punya. No, pap punya, that is even for the very lowest level of Vedic culture. Karma kandi. How to get free from pap and how to increase our punya. But in the modern age, they don't even consider any such thing. Now the Navaratri just went by, and now the gynecologists, now it's time for their business to increase. Gynecologist, a very euphemistic name for murderer.